All right, time for some real serious stuff. Salute the Shade Room. They made a post about this breaking news law that just passed recently, or that there's yeah, it passed. Okay, so and actually CNN posted this on Twitter, but the Philadelphia City Council passed a bill Thursday that bans the use of ski masks in some public areas. A move they say will help law enforcement solve crimes, but that civil rights advocates believe will criminalize people of color. You know what's crazy? I didn't even look at that CNN post. That's the question I was gonna ask. Nice. So keep that in mind. So Sharon posted the Philadelphia City Council passed legislation on Thursday banning the use of ski masks in some public areas. The measure, which passed with a 13-2 vote. I wonder what the two people that were against it, what their color or nationality was, would ban ski masks in, what the hell is that?
Or balaclavas.
I never known that ski masks were also called that. But anyway, in public spaces such as schools, recreation centers, parks, city owned buildings, and on some public transportation. According to CNN, offenders will receive a $250 fine for each offense, up to a $2,000 fine if a mask is worn during the commission of a crime. That makes sense. Opponents argue that the measure will unfairly target individuals without proof of any wrongdoing. The city of Philadelphia has been under siege with individuals who use ski masks to commit crimes. Any city, you have that. It's caught on to not just young people, but young adults who have made this a particular thing to do. Councilmember Anthony Phillips, hashtag Anthony Phillips, tells CNN the Philadelphia Police Department can't tell who's a criminal and not a criminal, which makes it difficult for crimes to be solved in Philadelphia. Okay, so clear and simple, Philly has made a move to ban ski masks. If you go out, and it's only certain areas, not just outside in general, but they could up it with a ski mask, you're getting fined. So, we're obviously not a law podcast. I'm pretty sure there's a lawyer that runs a podcast that can break this down way better than us. But we're here to talk about a variety of different things to give you guys a well-rounded idea of what's going on in society and what our advice is about it. So, what do y'all make of this? Do y'all think that this is net positive, or do you see, like they're mentioning, that or do you think this could have unintended consequences and unfairly impacts people? Because like somebody saying, I already forget who said it. A ski mask in itself is not a it does not reflective of you being a criminal or you committing a crime. Um, you just covering your face. Kick W. So what do you think? What do you think, Ghost? Would you be for this law, or would you kind of be a little hesitant because of the potential ramification that unintended ramification that it could have?
Um, I don't know. This is a tricky one because I guess it would help if there was like stats on how many people committing someone's most like robberies and stuff like that are actually wearing ski masks like this. Because it is like a pretty common trend with the young boys now to wear them just for fashion for whatever reason. But
No, they be wearing them shiesty. They be wearing them shiesty masks, poo shiesty mask. But I guess it's the same. It's
yeah,
probably
it's
one and the same according to like the law.
yeah, like I don't know. I feel like it is it could easily be in knowing the how things work in police departments and who they end up targeting. It probably will end up indiscriminately targeting young black dudes more, and a lot of the times it'll probably be unfairly because it'll just be like high schools be wearing these shits all the time. Like just again, it's like a fashion thing. And I can see the problems with that, but at the same time, like I I do get like there's a lot of robberies that go on. It's people wear ski masks. It's like it is what it is, and I honestly don't know. I don't if I'm trying to. What? Where did they say they were going to enforce this? Public
Philly.
spaces, schools.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I I guess I'm kind of for it in theory. In practice, I don't know how it's going to work out. Probably not all too well, but I get the reasoning and the logic behind it. I don't want to say it's indiscriminately targeted towards black men, even though a lot of these laws are, because it's a fact that a lot of robberies that take place, a lot of crimes that take place, people wear ski masks. Like that's unavoidable. So
Yep.
I don't I don't know. I guess it's we'll see how it ends up turning out. But for now, I'm tentative.
You kind of cut out there. You said you're tentative about it. Did I cut out, or am I serious?
I
He
said
said
I'm
he's tentatively
tentatively
for it.
for it.
Got you. Fair enough. There's nothing wrong with us coming out here, but just saying, we can't make a full assessment or judgment based off the information that we have. To your point, yeah, I don't think there's straight up statistics on what is the mask wearing rate of people committing crimes, but I think kind of common sense tells us relatively high because even the most common criminal understands that one of the important aspects of committing a crime is to conceal yourself. While a lot of crimes are done at night and so on and so forth. Um, so yeah, that's fine. Um, I was gonna say maybe I'll speak more on this later, but this seems kind of reflective or related to similar crimes that they passed in the past in other cities and just across the nation. Stop and frisk comes to mind. Certain crime bills that were passed in the past when they had intentions of dealing with crimes or dealing with indicators of crimes, but again, they did have consequential impacts to people that didn't necessarily deserve it. And yeah, like you were saying, some of these things are kind of like a fashion trend, so that kind of also puts another layer on it. And even if like, say we have like pandemics, and even though that's like a completely drastic outlier of something that happens, and that's not this, and not to compare ski masks to the masks that people were wearing, but some people were wearing more they weren't wearing just straight up N95 masks or whatever those masks were called or medical masks. They were wearing straight up like masks that cover your more a good portion of your face. But what about you, Ace? Based off this, are you more for this law, or would you kind of be a bit hesitant to pass something like this?
I'm pretty for it. What's funny is that as a kid, like I remember seeing like cop shows and things like that, and you'd see people put on the ski mask, and my kid brain was like, "Yo, why can people even buy ski masks? Like,
What do you
you're
mean?
gonna commit a crime. Like, why is this even allowed to be sold?" But of course, I understand now that um
Yeah, so
they
you were
do work.
big. So you was a big as a kid. What's going on?
I mean, I just always thought like if in every show I see people buy people use ski masks to rob a bank or something like that. I was like, why is it even possible to buy ski masks when that's what they're used for? But I
Yeah,
didn't
I got you.
yeah, but I didn't obviously I didn't understand that they actually work. Like for the cold like having your face wrapped up like that it actually works.
That's the
And
crazy part. They're about to ban ski masks. What like literally it's in the name ski mask right before winter?
right. That's a good point. But yeah, like yeah, I'm somebody who does like a good balaclava. I have multiple like face wrap type things for primarily for like
Is a
working.
ball called something different? Can you
Balaclava is the one where it's like
can we do a Google
it
search
has
on
like
that
the
real
mouth.
quick and show the people without
You bought
showing?
you bought me one.
I bought you a balaclava. What?
Yes, yeah, I think
Sound
you
like
bought me a
baklava.
camo one.
Sound like the thing that Action Bronson be eating, a baklava. What the heck is that? Let
It's
me
the
see
thing
what.
where it has like a mouth, basically a mouth thing.
Oh, this is the official name of the Pushaisky mask.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, yeah, I have a
Yeah,
couple of these.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but I mean, like the the pub. I think if the places where they're not allowed is defined well enough, then it's quote unquote okay. Um, so again, like for me, if I'm outside, primarily I only need it when I'm because if I'm just going somewhere, I'm gonna be in the car for the most part, and then getting out and going into a building. So I don't really need it on like a day to day basis unless I'm working outside. Um, and I think um, the places that they're mentioning, um, it doesn't seem like it is necessarily needed. So for that reason, I'm pretty much in
It be
agreement
cold
with
on.
it.
It be cold on the buses. And in a park? A park is outside. What do you mean?
Nah, but you're not to the point where you need your whole covered up. I don't think. Like you got a hood on, you got a good hat on. Your nose isn't gonna freeze because because you're on on public transportation.
When's the
Parks is
last?
actually, I guess, Parks is kind of
When was the last
surprising,
time you
but
were on? When's the last time you were on a bus, bro?
I mean, it wasn't in the way.
Yeah, exactly. In the dead of winter. Oh, I'm not gonna lie.
I
Actually,
don't
Buses
remember.
are
I
it's
not
don't
that
remember
cold.
buses being
and,
that
and
cold.
actually, my,
Nah,
my
you
younger
had
brother could probably vouch for this. Some of these new like electric buses, they probably are very warm. Actually, there are
yeah,
probably
Yeah,
yeah,
I
people.
was in
yeah,
college taking buses almost every morning for a
There,
semester in the dead winter, and it was not.
there are probably less
it
fortunate
wasn't
people.
cold. Yeah,
There are probably less fortunate people that ride buses like all day, like just to keep in the warm.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Um, yeah, Parks, I think is the one that kind of stretches it because you're gonna be outside, and if it's cold, yeah, that makes sense that you'd probably want to keep your face wrapped up. Um, I get, yeah, that's the tough one, but overall, like in my mind, I think if a decision like this is data driven, and it's like 90% of criminals got a ski mask on, it's like, this is low hanging fruit. Like, just ban ski masks. It makes
Although
sense.
we all know how much I love data, we know we can't necessarily one bar for bar make laws off of that. Like, like if data showed that like the majority of people that consume alcohol like die of liver related issues or get in violent incidents, you wouldn't ban alcohol, even though I have different variant
You're right.
opinions on
You're
that.
you're right in that the data itself can't drive the it can't be the sole factor in the decision. Like the data is always just another tool in your arsenal to help make a decision. But I
Right.
think it should almost 100% of the time be necessary in making a decision.
Yeah, and
Like,
I'll largely agree with that. I'm not saying that to dispute you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, and I guess like to Ghost's point, we'll see how it actually plays out as far as does crimes where people wear ski masks go down as a result of this? Because I guess one thing to consider is like if somebody if somebody's intention is to commit a crime, they're still going to wear a ski mask in the place that they're going to commit the crime. So you could ask, how exactly does this decrease the number of crimes that will be committed?
Okay, now we're thinking. I guess the logic is, in theory, ski masks are banned. Like there should have been. You can't wear them. Now, obviously, the
Hmm.
penalty is just a fine. But if you're wearing it in general, why don't they just stop the sale of them? Sorry. Anyway, if you
Hey,
if you're
that was my kid brain. Hold up.
sorry, my that was just my brain like going like from zero to like a different location. But if you're wearing it, you got to take it off. But yeah, I can still see like well, if you're doing a
Yeah, but
crime,
yeah,
yeah,
what I'm thinking is you go into the criminal is going to go into the place not wearing the ski mask, put it on, and then commit the crime.
yeah. I mean, I guess it's extremely juvenile way to look at it, but like, okay, so say somebody robs a corner store, gets a few $100, and then he dips out, and then he's going down the street with a ski mask. He has to be stopped according to the law now,
Yeah, true,
or they have to be
true.
stopped. Um, yeah, I don't necessarily like the. I mean, you guys are right in saying that we just have to see how it turns out because I mean, obviously, it's been passed, so we're not here to, uh, you know, we're definitely not. So the B1 to B4 podcast is not starting a petition to stop this. But my maybe a bit more dystopian brain does kind of think like, okay, so what about the line of thinking that if they're able to pass these type of laws, what if it progresses? Because what if it does? We do get to a situation where criminals are wearing ski masks as much as more, but they wear extra large hoods uh, or about sunglasses. You can't see their eyes, or again like the more like hospital level masks. Or are we cool with them? Upping this law. You can't wear hoods in public. You can't wear sunglasses in public. If if they're trying to prevent things that conceal people when they're doing a crime, where does it end? Or
Yeah,
do you
I
think
mean
that's
that's
kind of just
the
foolish
slippery
thinking?
slope argument, which I don't I don't necessarily um I don't necessarily agree with thinking of it in that way because you you're right, you could just keep going on forever. But what should happen is the evaluation should continue to take place on um a case by case basis. And I would imagine that there would be thresholds um that would be in place to be indicators of like not only what your success is, well, yeah, basically what your success level is or what success level you want to target. Like, is your goal, are you, is a police department really going to put in place a goal to completely eliminate, um, I don't know, robberies? Or are they going to have some threshold to say like a certain percentage um is, I guess, acceptable? Or yeah, yeah,
So
and
so
then
you're basically saying like it's about reducing, not necessarily eliminating. So at a certain threshold, that you don't need to implement like potentially drastic things or measures.
yeah, there's that, and then there's also like what methods you're going to use um to to continue to reduce. Like, if because this isn't going to be their only this is removing things that obstruct people's faces shouldn't be the only way that they target reducing reducing this type of crime. So I feel like the issue is multifaceted enough where um a one like the one solution of removing obstructions to people's faces is, or or just identifying them in general, isn't going to be isn't going to be like the only thing that they just continue to keep, removing and removing and removing. Because yeah, you're you're right in that it is something that you could continue to go down forever, but there's going to be a point where it's like this isn't this isn't what's helping us
Mm-hmm.
or the the value from doing this is going to keep, decreasing and decreasing and decreasing. It's not gonna ever it's you're not going to get like a a huge value added every time you implement a new law or
Mm-hmm.
ban like this.
No, I think you make some absolutely positively valid points there. Ultimately, it is passed, and it is. You do have to kind of see how it is. Unfortunately, sometimes these things do have unintended consequences. It does target certain people more than others. But I would argue, like, if somebody just wants to wear a ski mask, I don't know if like black and brown people are wearing ski masks. Oh, they're definitely wearing the baklavas, or what you call it again?
Balaclava.
Balaclavas. They're definitely wearing those at higher rates thanks to Pooh Shiesty. But that's they're neither here nor there. And what's also neat is neither here nor there. Um, I think on my record, Philly is one of my favorite cities. But we do have to acknowledge that it is it being such a highly condensed city, and a city where there's a lot where there are some areas that are uh, eh, there are more of us. It is a city where there is a high level of crime. And so, by that nature, they're going to try to implement some things that reduce that, make it safer for people in theory. And um, while we don't necessarily like things that encroach, is that the right word, on our like freedoms, at the end of the day, if the results of this was like less crimes, uh, less thefts, I don't think anyone would complain about that. So we'll see. I just hope, again, I don't want to get too dystopian brain minded, but I hope it this doesn't, ramp up. And, you brought up a lot of valid points. You just kind of have to assess it based off that. But also the question is, do police departments and do city councilmen and councilwomen, do they actually go in depth with that level of analysis? Or do they try to just attribute, not, I don't make a big statement, but sometimes they just kind of react based off, you know, something that they deem to be a potential solution. So,
Yeah, I'm going with the second.
well, that's why you got to get out and vote if that's you care about. So we should only be voting in statisticians and uh, what is there an occupation for somebody that deals with probability? A a
I
prob.
think it's statisticians still.
Okay, fair enough. A probs and stats major. But I'm just joking, of course. Yeah, if there's nothing else on this. We can move on to the next topic.